excited to be here with my good friend that made all of these trophies. And you make all the trophies all the time. So tell us your name and the name of your company. Is it different than?
Okay. My name is Elkin Anaya. I'm originally from Colombia, South America, but I've been in the U.S. for 40 years. The name of the hobby company.
It's not a hobby company.
Yeah, is EA Sculptures.
Okay, I wasn't sure of that, so I wanted to make sure.
Yes.
So EA Sculptures.
EA Sculptures,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I started doing this since 1991. In 1991, I made the VA Bull 202, and I was commissioned by ABBA to produce the International Grand Champion Bull and Cow trophies, which they have been giving since that time.
Oh my gosh. And they're absolutely stunning trophies, and definitely can tell not only the artistic ability, but the passion for our breed is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I had the privilege to grow up in a family that used to raise Brahman cattle in Colombia, and I went to a lot of Brahman judging shows and all that, so I learned what to look for, and God has given me the ability to be able to pass that into the sculptures.
And they are
for the ideal animal.
Yeah, they're absolutely beautiful. So do we have a special sculpture for the World Brahman Congress that is a different kind of trophy, or is it are these different than some of the other events that people go to?
Okay, these are the national ones.
Okay.
What we have here, and what we have special here is the Grand Champion, which
Okay.
is this one right here. It's a bull and a cow that they usually use for the national champion.
So you
And
made the trophies for the national. The World Brahman Congress has a different trophy.
It's different trophy. It's a rope with
But
two
it's-
heads.
Did you make it too?
I made it too.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to talk bad about that trophy. I was going to say it's not near as pretty as these, but if you made it, it's perfect. So these are amazing. I know that the people that win these are just they cherish the trophies
Good.
because of the hard work they put in, but also the hard work you have put in to make these trophies. So we really thank that you have come and visited with us. And of course, are you going to be in Colombia for their national show
No,
this
I
year?
won't be there. I gotta go to my regular job.
Okay, to his real job. So yeah, I think this is a real job, personally. But we're going to be in Colombia, and we will. Where in Colombia were you born, and where?
I was born in Cartagena, but I grew up in Medellin, Colombia.
We're going to be in Medellin, and I was there in 2006 for the World Brahman Congress. Was in Medellin.
an amazing
yeah.
place.
Absolutely stunning. We'll be back in Medellin in about 2 weeks, where we'll be allowed in the arena, and we will really enjoy that. So thank you, Elkin, so much. And it's EA Sculptures. Can people contact you for?
Yeah, I have a website,
Okay.
but I don't promote too much because I don't have time. But I
Yeah.
will be promoting when I retire.
But for special things.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching, and let's show these beautiful trophies one more time.
For me, it's a pleasure to be here. I have been given a gift from God. This is not me. I'm going to be starting with that. When people ask me, how do I sculpt? I ask them, I don't know. But what we're going to try to go is illustrate the process of sculpting, because that's what we want to do. And that's my speech today about how do we sculpt. So these are the steps for sculpting. The first step is what is the first one? Okay, the first step is figure out what do you want to sculpt. What is the idea? So I want to do a cow, a horse, a dog, a person. So that's the first thing. And I'm going to try to illustrate how each step with a piece of clay. So let's get something going here. Let's have fun. Okay, so let's see what we want to sculpt. Okay, let's see what do we want to sculpt. Raise your hand. What animal you guys want? Or what person? A bull.
That's easy for him.
Okay, we're gonna try to continue talking. So we want a bull, right? The next thing is what media you want to sculpt with. Some people sculpt with clay. Some people sculpt with wax. Some people sculpt with plastilin. Okay? You need to study the anatomy of the animal or person you're gonna make. So one of the gifts that I've been given, I can make a portrait of a person or an animal. But you need to study a person or an animal carefully. Okay? Then you draft the sculpture. Basically, that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna draft the body of a small bull. Let's do it. Okay. And this is where I don't know where the gift came from. Well, I know from God. Okay, we're gonna make the body of the cow, the bull. This part is fast. This part is easy for me because the gift was given to me. For other people, maybe easy too. Yeah. So, esta parte es rápida. Se puede hacer la figura. Como ven aquí, empezamos a formar el cuerpo, las cuatro patas. Entonces, cuando estudiamos el animal, then when you study the animal, you say, it better be a champion. Okay. And then it has to be, it looks like a champion. It better have a straight back. It better have good hind quarter, a deep hard line, good home placement. I didn't know that. John taught me all this. Masculine, breed character, all of those things you need to study so you can make it in the clay. So let's say, I'm not going to continue with this. I'm going to pull one that I have a little bit more advanced so we get faster. So let's say we have the frame here. And then you put a wire to hold the legs. And then this part is fast. This is a matter of 20 minutes. And then the trouble starts after that. Because now you got to put the ribs, the eye, the ears. So that is the process of sculpting. So keep the proportions of the animal. If I'm going to make this bull, I'm going to make a cow laying down, it has to be proportional. And you want to keep the features of the animal. The same with this one. If you look at these two, these are the same sculptures when it comes to the idea. Bull, cow, calf, bull, cow, calf, except they are, one is small scale, higher scale. But the proportions are there. And then enhance the highlights of the person or animal. What do we like in Brahman breed? Tremendous hindquarter, strong back, home placement, femininity, long neck in the cow, masculinity in the bull. So you want to make sure you enhance the shoulder blade, the muscle expression, the flank, deep in the heart. All of those things that you study, you try to place it in the clay. Okay? Next thing, at the end of the clay, you want to polish the sculpture. That's, each sculpture has their own style. Some people try to put hair on the animal. Some people try to do that. So that's something that you develop on your own. So I try to polish them to make it nice. Yeah, pass them around, please. And the most important part of this hobby is to have fun. To tell you something, I normally when I sculpt a piece, I can get the piece like that bull. You can pass this one too around. You can look at this. Normally I get to that stage in about, that piece would take me about 6 hours. But then I hide the piece. I hide the piece for 2 or 3 days, come back and say, this is horrible. And change it. And change it until I feel pleased. And then I call my boss, Kelly, my wife. I said, Kel, what do you think about this one? She says, The nose is too long. Again, back to the drawing board. So that's the sculpting process. I don't want to go too long. I just wanted to illustrate how this thing goes. They're going to show you, believe it or not, I was crazy enough in 1991. Okay, let me tell you a story of how I got sculpting professionally, I guess you can call it that way. ¿Cómo empecé para esculpir un poco ya de una manera más profesional? No soy un profesional, yo no me considero un profesional, mi hobby. Mi señora, se llama Kelly, me dijo, yo le dije, quiero esculpir piezas que pueda poner en mi casa. Yo hacía todo en plastilina y todo se dañaba. Me dijo, toma una clase para hacer los moldes. Los moldes me costaron, hacer la clase me costó en 1991 $600. Yo, eso era mucho dinero para mí como ingeniero. Bueno, hice la clase, aprendí la clase y dije, voy a hacer el 202. So, to those that don't speak Spanish, my wife is the one that encouraged me to take the class to make the molds. I make the molds. I learned to make the molds. Paid $600. That for me in 1991 was a lot of money for an engineer. I took the class and then I decided to make 202. I didn't tell anything to Jim Williams. So I made 202. I took the clay. I said, Jim, I got something to show you. And I showed Jim Williams the clay of 202. And then he said to me, how much do you want for that? I said, class, $600. Mold, $300, casting, $1,200. He ripped up a check, gave it to me. Okay, 3 months later, I come to his house with the mold, with the bronze. Getting the bull, he's happy with the bull, took pictures, everything. We walk inside his office. He showed me, this is cow 380. I paid $3,500 for her. I said, crap. Then I went up after that. But that's the story of my first piece. But this piece really opened the door for me. I showed Wendell Strunk, executive director ABB at that time, this sculpture. And Wendell commissioned me to make the bronzes that all the grand champions in Houston have won since 1991 with me. So he paid me for the royalty of the piece. And I cannot sell that piece to anyone. Only grand champions in Houston get that sculpture. If you come to me, you want a copy of that? No, you don't get it. Only the ones that win get the option to buy a copy. So that's the story about ABB sculptures. I'm going to show you a few of the sculptures that I made. This is the latest version of the ABBA bull. It didn't used to be that way. It used to be more of a longer bull. I updated to be more of today's cattle. Once again, I want to highlight, you want to highlight the rib cage, the muscle expression, everything in the sculpture as much as you can. And then this is the guy that does the magic with the bronze. You guys want to think about what a bronze is like? It's 5 copies to get to the bronze. Clay, mold, wax, and then you get a ceramic mold. That ceramic mold gets burned out, gets the negative, and in that ceramic mold, they cast the metal, and then they break it and weld it. So 5 copies to get to 1 bronze. For this one, it's only 3. It's mold and resin. By the way, I brought a resin mold. So this is a mold of the little piece that you guys are looking around, okay? But to illustrate the process, I got here a piece that I put in here. I'm going to pull it out right now. I don't know what it's going to look like. This is the mold. This is the silicone. All of this has tricks, by the way. The trick here is once you make the piece, you want to make sure it pulls out right, and you want to make sure you cut the mold the right way, otherwise you messed up the mold. So I'm gonna open this mold. So the trick was how to cut the mold. Now here's the copy. But it doesn't end there, you gotta clean it up. And then you take a Dremel, you clean it up with a Dremel, any little holes, you're gonna plug it up, paint it, and that's it. And then you sell it to the VA. But anyway, that's the process of the little piece. Like I said, my wife is the one that encouraged me to learn this part. And then the guy that taught me how to do the molds told me tips. Turning table, anatomy book. And then after that, God will help you, because that's the only way to do it. And then I'm gonna go quickly. This is in Colombia. I also made portrait animals. Like this is a Riba cow from Merino Farms. And this is the most challenging part, I believe, on my hobby. They want their cow. So the only way to make their cow is put this grease right here. And if you measure from here to here, you measure from that to here, it's exactly the same dimension. It's the only way to keep it proportional. So you gotta study the animal very well. So this is Riba. This is Apache. This is the latest ones I made. But I made 737, 455, Millionaire. I made many bulls. I got sick of making bulls, so I charge a lot of money for those ones nowadays. Okay. And then I also make deers. These ones make money because you can sell them a lot. And then elks and other deers, longhorns, beef mafters, Santa Gertrudis, fighting bulls. And this is where I can get in trouble. Do you guys recognize who that guy is? Oh, thank you very much. He was with me, so I said, if they stop me, he ordered it. And thank you for your time. Any questions? In the Brahman breed, I have about 102 different molds, because unfortunately, ranches like Heritage Cattle win all the time, and they get bored of the same sculpture. Yeah, 102 I have. And also what I learned is to reduce the amount of sculptures I make them modular. I can sell you the bull by itself, reserve champion. I can sell you the bull with the calf, ghetto sire. I can sell you the bull with the cow, grand champion. So it's all in the making. It's all in trying to be creative. Like I said, this is God-given gift. And I enjoy doing it. I have fun doing it. And I love Brahman cattle too, so that makes a difference. Any other questions? Otra pregunta. Okay, muchas gracias. Thank you very much, guys.
Man, thank you. Thank you very much.